I'm outside the BETT 2018 show, as you can see. And inside you'll see lots of stands on robots, smart boards, touch boards, business to business, services for maths. But what you won't see are too many programs for the ordinary teacher. It's mostly senior managers, international businesses talking to each other now. The teacher associations don't seem to be there anymore. And a lot of exhibitors that were specifically for teachers seem to have deserted in one way or another. NACE doesn't seem to have a big presence there, and there aren't too many firms that cater for the individual teacher in the classroom anymore. It's all at scale, and that's the way it's gone because, of course, education in this country has been somewhat balkanized. So one firm I did find that was quite interesting in the sort of needle in the haystack was a firm called Seneca. And I'll let you listen to their scientific officer because they're one of the few people who actually have organised an RCT around their platform, which is social enterprise and is free. So, Flavia, can you tell us a bit about the platform, please?
Hi, hello. So Seneca is a social enterprise. That means that everything we do is for free. We want interested in social mobility, so we want everybody to have access to educational resources. And we have an online platform for revision and homework. Right now we have GCSE content, but we will expand to A-levels and Key Stage 3 in the future. And the platform is based on neuroscience. So we have people from UCL, Oxford, and Cambridge helping us to design the platform. So things that we know improve memory, learning, and understanding, we apply to the platform. So for example, we have active retrieval, which is the idea that you learn more if you're being tested than if you're just rereading the same thing over and over again. And also we have context variability. So there are 20 different ways that the platform presents and tests information. Because with more different variabilities, you learn better and you can apply that better when it's time for your exam. And then hopefully you get better marks as well. And as you said, we tried the platform with more than 1,000 kids in a paper that's going to be published next month. And using our platform made them have twice as much marks as when they were using what they usually do to prepare for exams. So we had a control group and our experimental group, which was us, and we improved twice as much as when they were doing other things.
A lot of informed research is going into this.
Yes, so we have, like I said, we have researchers from 3 major universities. They are working with us to design the platform. So we constantly, that's actually my job, constantly reading new papers and new findings from neuroscience, cognitive sciences, psychology, educational learning, developmental psychology to apply for the platform. So we also have the spacing effect, which is constantly being studied over and over again in the lab, which is the idea that you learn better with small chunks of information over a longer time than doing everything at once. So we also have that embedded in the algorithm for the schools. And another thing that is good about the platform is that it saves the teachers' time because it's automatically marked. So you can share the platform with your students and then you can track everything that they're doing on the platform. So it also helps. And we plan to do more research. So we had this RCT done a few months ago, but we want to do more research. So we are already collaborating with 2 schools to run more research and compare students with special needs with students with non-special needs, students from free meal backgrounds and students with non-free meal backgrounds, students that did well in the past, students that were struggling in the past. We are comparing our platform with another platform, so we're constantly doing more research, so we really know that it works and we know why it works.
So can you tell me the URL, the address of your platform?
Yeah, so the website is senecalearning.com. Seneca, the name of the company, and learning as learning.com. And then in there, all you have to do is sign up. And then in March, it's not ready now, but in March, you're going to have access to biology, chemistry, and physics, everything. And it's all available for free and immediately, so you just basically choose which one you want, or all of them if you want, and start using.
So you're concentrating mostly on the sciences, and you went to the ACE conference recently, I hear.
Yeah, so in March we're going to have the sciences, but then in May we're going to have everything else, English, mathematics, everything. And yes, we did go to the conference in Liverpool 2 weeks ago, which was really great because it was really focused on science teachers and people there interested in having new resources for the students and, like you said, progressive. They want to do more things, different things, anything that can help students to learn better. we are doing it, and because it's free, then everybody was very interested.
I'm with Martin Barrett at BETT. Martin, I've been looking around this year at all the exhibits, and it struck me that it is changing slightly at BETT. I mean, it's more at scale sort of exhibition for business to business, or mats, or whereby Leaders Lounge there, for example. It's all geared towards leaders. Not too many stalls for the teachers themselves, maybe, or possibly there are, but they're very small and very hard to sort of find. What's your opinion about how it's shifting slowly, BETT?
Well, I agree completely. I think that companies are going for the whole school solution, which obviously has to cater for the leaders of schools, and maybe the shift away from the teacher in the classroom is not actually such a good idea for the companies at BETT, because after all, they do make the vast majority. They do make decisions in the classroom, and it's important that the voices of teachers do have a say within the class, within organisations like this from the classroom, because otherwise that extra layer of bureaucracy in between the learning which happens within the classroom and what happens at places like BETT gets completely lost.
Are there any other sort of changes that you've noticed, or things for the good?
So yeah, I do think there are pockets of really good things happening at BETT. I think that lots of the big companies are playing it safe, and once you've seen one big rectangular screen, you've seen them all. So for those people who are coming to BETT this year, or if you're watching this and you're thinking about going next year, go to the edges of BETT, go to the small stand holders, because that's where the innovation is happening. That's where you're going to find tomorrow's really big ideas. That's not to say that things on the big stands are not going to make a difference in your classroom. They will. It's just that if you really want to push the envelope, if you really want to look at the bleeding edge of educational technology, you need to look for the startups. You're looking for the small guy who's just breaking through.
So Martin, can you tell me what you do and what your business is at BETT?
Okay, a bit of a strange one at BETT, because even though I have a stand, I've been there as little as possible because it's self-service. So I'm Martin Barrett, I'm ICT Magic on Twitter. I'm also one of the many faces behind UKChat, also on Twitter. And basically what we do is we try to give away as much CPD as possible and try to improve education through teachers and making sure that teachers can upskill as best they can. So I'm a bit of a fish out of water at BETT, because everything I'm doing I'm trying to give away for free. So yeah, it's quite an interesting experience having so many shiny lights and things when UKChat is on its stand trying to do the best for teachers in the classroom.
That's not to say there aren't lots of stalls here for the average teacher, but they're hard to find, and they're at the edges, as Martin said. As Martin also said, his stall is absolutely empty. There is no one here. But if you look around the walls, this is what he neglected to say, you can scan for resources. So it's a very clever idea and very well put together. Yes, I think there's a lot to be said about BETT going at scale, but I do think they need to sort of open out the opportunities for smaller, more innovative firms to come here. And of course, everywhere you look, there's the virtual, the mixed reality, the virtual. And it is fad of the year, far more so than last year. But I still think it's a very, very immature technology. And until we get the pipes that we need in schools, you ain't going to get anywhere with a collaborative virtual world with 2 gigabytes feed into a school. It's just not going to happen. We really do need the pipes in the schools sorting first. My final thoughts on the BETT show. I think either end of the show is quite interesting with these small units, the tech units, the Arduinos, the BBCs, and all those little kits that you can put together. On the other end, these startups and the Educate matchmaking firm, I'm not sure what that's about, really. I can see that they're trying to be innovative, and I can see they're trying to find a market for schools or a market for teachers who want to try out their innovations or ideas, but I don't think it's working, not this year anyway. As for all the different arenas, it's been quite interesting, but I haven't really had time to attend those. What I am looking forward to, as usual, is the Teach Meet this year, where teachers do come together in a spirit of sharing and also socialising, which I think is wonderful that BETT still puts that on. Maybe there's a place for those small stalls and the smaller startups and teachers who want to get a toehold into this market, maybe there's a place for starting again in a smaller venue somewhere and seeing if people can attend that.